Hey everyone, this is my fitness and nutrition story. Just the short version of it. So here we go. It all started when I was 12 years old. I had very low self-esteem in myself. I didn't really think I was worth it. Things changed. I was the only child. Well, not the only child, but my sister was kicked out, so I pretty much became the only child, and I was very much spoiled. But anyway, when my sister had my niece, my older niece Lexi, she's 11, I just felt really left out, and I would turn a few, which turned deadly. Actually, I wasn't obese, but I was on my way to becoming obese to the point where the doctor pretty much one day was like, listen, this is very unhealthy, and if you don't stop, you're going to be obese by the time you're middle-aged, and that's not something a 12-year-old wants to hear, 12, 13-year-old wants to hear, that you're going to end up obese, especially since my mom was obese and she had problems with that, and I didn't want to go through the same thing. So that's when I began to obsess over what I ate, how much I ate, the portions, the calories. I count calories out my ass for years. And then I started with working out. It was hard because I was not in shape at all. I started with like 30 minutes and then went to an hour to 2 hours. To the extreme of my obsession, and the most amount of exercise I've done was 6 hours. And that was if I messed up, if I didn't know, if I missed a workout or ate something I wasn't supposed to. I did double the amount of exercise to make up for it. That's because I became so obsessed and so unhappy. I actually think I had a little beginning stages of anorexia, or if it wasn't already anorexia. I had, you guys will probably think I'm crazy, but I had this annoying drill sergeant in my head telling me all the time that I was pathetic and that I wasn't worth it, and that I was never going to become healthy because I give up easily, and how worthless I was all the time, and it was just loud and loud. The more I would try to ignore it, the louder it got, to the point where I would cry myself to sleep at night, and that's how bad it became. I hated my hair, I hated my eyebrows, I hated my thighs, I hated my stomach mostly, because I had a real hard time with my stomach. Yeah. I had a real hard time with that. But to the point where I couldn't look at myself in the mirror without crying. I would just see my friends who were skinnier than me, and I'm like, I want that. I want that. And I would see all these, what the media portrays as perfect. It's like, so I don't look like that. What's wrong with me? And to the point. And then one day, I was flipping through the channels with my mother, and I stumbled across the show The Biggest Loser on NBC, the weight loss show where they compete to lose weight. I was like, whoa, look at these contestants. They're heavier than me and they can do all this, so what's wrong with me? And I looked up to a few of them for their admiration and their strength, and also one of the trainers on The Biggest Loser, Jillian Michaels in particular. She was the red team's trainer and then the black team's trainer later on. I loved her because she was just strong and she didn't take no for an answer, and she believed in people so much. She had a really kind heart, in which I appreciated that. Long story short, I pretty much bought everything having to do with her, and I listened to her and her advice on how, if I wanted to start, the self-hatred and stuff would have to stop in order for me to see and really appreciate the physical changes that my body did make that I wasn't seeing because I was so obsessed, and that I had to change my internal dialogue and how I thought before I could actually start seeing the physical changes. It took me 2 years to start seeing the good in myself, and to realize that I was worth it and I was capable of it. I did mess up my body a lot from the damage. It went from when I was 12 to 17 years old that I went through all this. It did mess up my stomach from everything that I've done. The whole entire journey, thus it did mess me up on that front, which sucks, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and I learned a lot about my body and myself and how strong I am and how much determination, because it takes a lot. It took more strength and determination than it did to get myself into the mess. To get out of the mess, it took more determination just to keep the annoying drill sergeant in my head silent. And it still does. There's some times where I'll find myself kind of reaching back, like, no. Remember what you went through before. So that's just enough for me to push forward. But, yeah, I was a complete and total mess. But I did learn a lot about myself. That was kind of a growing period. So, yeah, that was my fitness and nutrition journey. Everything that I went through. I hope you like it. Or at least can relate to it. I'm sure a lot of you have been through that as well. And I would love to hear your story. Yeah, I did. I don't know, now, like, I'm not so obsessive about it. I do still like to work out. I like to work out a lot. I don't do 6 hours of exercise a day, which I realized after I made that big drastic change how crazy that was. Like, people would be like, you don't realize how strong you are. Like, I was able to do one-arm push-ups and pull-ups, and I was running like 5 miles a day. But I always thought I was weak. I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna be able to do this. But yeah, and yeah, I learned about quite a bit. That was a big drastic change for me. Thanks for listening, and you have any comments, you know where to put them. Alrighty, well, take care, and I will be thinking about another video to do pretty soon. I don't know if I'm going to do any more tonight. We'll see. I'll probably one more topic. Who knows? Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye.